you're a business owner. If you have a team of 30 people that are not moving to AI for change, you're going to be left behind. This is not fluff. This is reality. That's a perfect example of what's happening in this world in 2026. Are you going to be a part of the solution, or are you going to be left behind? Speed of development is happening in real time. I'm seeing it firsthand. Do a prompt and things change in real time. Build trust with staff in order for them to execute it. If you have a team that can execute the deadlines, you are at the forefront of success. If you're not having those tough conversations with your staff and they're not executing, you have to have an accountability chart or something internally to make sure they execute. 55 days till launch. Today is January 9th, and there's 55 days till March 1st, 2026 to launch my app to the public. Am I nervous? 100%. Did I just do last week an end-to-end test and it worked? Yes. Am I super excited about that? Yes. Did I take that app that I've been showing my team and everyone around us and reviewed it with them? And their response was there was a lot of changes that need to happen. But guess what? The changes happened within 2 to 4 hours for a development cycle. Think about that. I went through the app. I was happy with it. I was happy that it went from end to end. I showed it with my team. They had a lot of things that they wanted to change. I brought those changes to the development team. Within 2 to 4 hours, it was fixed. Speed of development is happening in real time. I'm seeing it firsthand. They're on the latest AI platforms where they have to do a prompt and things change in real time. 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago, that process would be completely different. You get the changes, you write a requirement document, you send it to a developer, they code everything, they test it, then they give it to you. That whole process would take weeks or months and take a lot of time. Now it takes 2 to 4 hours for over 15 changes that came from the first testing, brought it to the developers, and it was done. So now I have a whole bunch of different requirements that I'm putting down so that when we're ready to fully test the first version, I'm already on to V2 while the developers are waiting for us to test, and they're already working on version 2 of the app. But think about that if you're a business owner. If you have a team of 30 people that are not moving to AI for change, you're going to be left behind. There's going to be so much disruption. I'm seeing it firsthand. So my recommendation to you as a business owner or anyone that's starting a business, speed of AI, I'm seeing it in real time. This is not fluff. This is reality. That's a perfect example of what's happening in this world in 2026. And it's just going to get better. When it gets better, are you going to be a part of the solution, or are you going to be left behind? It is going to disrupt white collar workers. It's going to disrupt a lot of small business owners. You need to be at the forefront of it, meaning you need to be on ChatGPT, all the AI things. There's now a lot of AI consultants that come into your firm and you're going to have to pay for it. And the first question they ask is who's on board with AI and who isn't. Whoever's not on board with AI, you have to have those conversations with those individuals, even if they've been around for years. Whoever's on board with it, you got to double down on them being the vocal point of your business moving forward. If you don't, you will be left behind. I'm seeing it firsthand, and I'm going to keep on talking about it because I want small business owners to succeed. I want creators, solopreneurs to start leveraging what's out there because there's a lot more out there now than there ever was. And that leads me to the second point. I'm officially a tech founder. I've said it. I've laid it out. I've always wanted to be a tech founder, and now I am. For 15 years, I've been building an accounting company, which I ended up selling in 2022 and 2024. My whole premise of selling the business was I always wanted to get into tech. Now I'm taking the last year of being a creator, the last 15 years of being an accounting firm owner, and I'm merging it into being a tech founder. This is exactly where I want to be, but it's coming with a lot of opportunities and a lot of obstacles. Opportunities, seeing AI at the forefront, being a part of those conversations, seeing how this game works. The negatives is you need to still be technical to understand what's going on. I'm now reading, I'm listening to podcasts, I'm learning this aspect of the game so that I can understand, okay, this new feature comes up. What does that even mean? Is it a front end development? Is it a back end? Is it an AI? Who do I reach out to? Who do I start having conversations with? Because at the end of the day, I'm the project manager or the CEO that needs to communicate and put everything together. So I need to understand it at a high level. Need to build trust with staff in order for them to execute it, but it's still on me to make sure that this business is executing at a very, very high level. The third lesson that I've learned in the last since I've started this business, you're either all in or you're all out. You need to be obsessed with your business. And there's a lot of talk out there about everything in regards to, the work culture, the grind culture, the hustle culture, all that. If you're an entrepreneur and you're all in, yes, you have to have balance, but you also have to be all in, and all in means all in. And it's unfortunate, but it's just the reality. Me taking time off for the last couple of years, I wasn't in a business. Well, I didn't have emails coming in. I didn't have to sort anything else. My flexibility was endless. Me starting this business, my calendar is already filled up because there's so many aspects of business that you need to do. And that's one of the kind of things that I'm being more aware of like, yes, I'm all in. Yes, I'm going to create boundaries. Yes, I'm going to do all those things. But at the end of the day, it's your baby and you have to be obsessed with it in order for it to grow and take it to the next level. It's just the reality, and I'm in it right now. And the last point that I've seen thus far is we came over break. One of the biggest things that we wanted to hit was the end-to-end testing before the 6th, I believe, of January. So the Monday before coming back, I had my whole development team. We had a lot of time and space to think, and we worked during the holidays. Our main goal was to have an end-to-end test completed by the 6th. We executed that on the 5th. Deadlines turn into reality. If you have a team that can execute the deadlines, you are at the forefront of success. And that's what happened. And that was a major milestone, major first milestone for Taxifi. We had an end-to-end test. I even paid for the subscription to get my taxes done, and everything worked. All the major pieces worked. Now it's just tweaks for version 1. There's going to be many versions, but for version 1, that was a deadline and we hit it. We all need to give ourselves internally a pat on the back because we executed it. In your team, on your team, you have to build a culture of execution. Make people accountable. Have those tough conversations. Have those good conversations. And then once you hit it, the first thing I said to the developers who are all male, jokingly said, because they're all over Ontario, if you're around me, I'd kiss you on the forehead. I'm just showing my appreciation to them because they executed, and that's exactly the culture I'm looking for. We had tough conversations throughout the 2 weeks of working the holidays. We all were aligned and we all were able to execute it. If you're not having those tough conversations with your staff and they're not executing, you have to have an accountability chart or something internally to make sure they execute. That's the update. Wait till next week for more updates. It's been super fun. Keep following along.